I know some of my subscribers are into XCOM. I am into XCOM. It's one of my favorite games. And I really want to talk a bit about a strategy guide that after you'll listen to this, you'll realize, oh my god, this game is so easy. Had I only known about this information before. I'm going to teach you how to win on even impossible Ironman mode, okay? And no, I'm not turning my channel into a gaming channel. This is just a one-time thing. I'm really excited about this game. I want to talk about it. And since I don't have that many people who play it, I guess I can use my channel to teach you how to be really good at this game. This is a campaign of mine. It's about to finish, so it's a really great opportunity for me to talk about the classes and the aliens and how to deal with them, right? So before we get into that, let's talk about the classes and how to build your guys. Ignore what goes on in the screen. I know the quality is really bad, right? Just listen to what I'm saying, because it's more important about the tips and the hints that I'm going to give you. So let's look at the classes, right? The first class is the Ranger. Now, there is only very little, how should I say, leeway when it comes to building your classes, because there are skills which are definitely better than the other ones, and if you want to play the game on impossible, you need to take these skills. There's like no debate about it. Very few skills allow you to choose between either or. So let's look at the tech tree, and I will show you what I'm talking about. For instance, Blade Master, utter garbage. Never take Blade Master. The reason you don't want to take Blade Master is because in this game, melee has a chance to miss. And that's why melee is utter shit most of the time, and you want to stay away from it. Even if it's like a 99% chance to hit, there is still that 1% chance to miss. So realize we're playing the game on Ironman mode, and if one of your operatives dies, is dead forever, and you don't want that to happen. When you go into melee range and you miss, now your soldier is out of cover probably. Now your soldier is really easy to be flanked by the enemies. And not only that, like there is an enemy right next to him that gets 100% chance to hit him in the face. And there are also enemies that work really well against people who do melee, like the Muton, for instance. If you try to melee a Muton, he has a parry mechanic and you are going to be hit in the face. So never take Blade Master, always take Phantom. There is also another combo which you can do with the Phantom, and it's really great. After you have engaged and your squad is now visible, your Ranger is still going to be hidden. So what you want to do is you can scout ahead with him, find another group of enemies, have your snipers on overwatch with squad sight, and as the enemies move, your sniper is going to fire upon the group of enemies. And this will cause them to engage on their turn. So what this happens is you will get a free shot at your aliens while they will just run to cover on their turn and not open fire on you. So it's a really great, there's absolutely no discussion here. Phantom all the time. Then you have between Shadow Step and Shadow Strike. Here you can have a bit of leeway. Shadow Step allows you to break Overwatch. However, it is not as good as Lightning Reflexes in XCOM 1. In XCOM 1, the only way to get an enemy to remove his Overwatch was to have a guy with Lightning Reflexes that would run past him. In this game, you can just do some damage to the enemy with the Overwatch and you will remove his Overwatch. So just throw a grenade, just, you know, hit him with something, and the enemy will not use Overwatch. So in my opinion, Shadow Strike is better. However, you are not going to make a really big mistake if you choose Shadow Step instead. Moving forward, we have, soldier abilities. Moving forward, we have between Run and Gun and Conceal. Always take Conceal. There is really no reason to take Run and Gun. Conceal allows you to do that sick combo with the sniper more times, and it also stacks with Shadow Strike. So these three are definitely the way to go. Then you have Implacable, which is, in my opinion, not as good as Bladestorm. The reason I take Bladestorm, I know I said that melee sucks, right? But most of the time, if you have Bladestorm, you will get out of situations that might kill your guy. You have other enemies that have melee, and they will try to melee your ranger, who will now get the first strike on them. And if you upgrade your sword to things that can stun, to things that can cause enemies to go unconscious, it will get you out of a lot of situation. Implacable is not worth it. Also, take into account that with Bladestorm, you can go up to an enemy, shoot him in the face with a shotgun, and if he has like 3 or 2 points left of health, he will die the next turn when he tries to move or cause an action. Deep Cover is the uttermost shit thing to get. Never get it. Untouchable is brilliant because it makes your ranger that good. The ranger is basically going to go behind enemy lines in order to try to take out certain targets. With Untouchable, he will now be invincible if you manage to take something out. Not only that, there is something even more cool. If you do the thing that I said before, you know, you go in front of an enemy, use your shotgun, bam, in the face, he has like 2 more remaining HP, and then he tries to move, you will kill him and you get the Untouchable bonus. So there is really no reason to get Deep Cover. And finally, Rapid Fire is the way to go, because as you saw, we didn't take a lot of the melee skills, so there's really no reason to take Reaper. The Ranger is, again, your scouting class. You are supposed to send him in forward, see where the enemies are, see what type of enemies there are in order to be able to position your guys. Your Ranger is also the second best damage dealer on the team. I wouldn't get more than 1. I think 1 Ranger per squad is enough. Now let's look at the other godlike class. This is like, I think God created all of the classes in XCOM and it was good. But God was still unhappy and he decided to create the most perfect class in the game, and thus God created the Sniper. The Sniper is your damage dealer. He is the thing that kills everything. They're very easy to level up because they get a lot of kills. And if you play correctly, they should not be taking damage at all. They will always be standing behind and dealing massive damage to the enemies. So let's see what abilities you should get. Always get Long Watch because you can do the combo with the Ranger. With I can't stress enough how important this combo is. Just send your Ranger in front while concealed, while the Sniper is outside of concealment, and with Overwatch, with Long Watch, and allow the enemies to move. If you're finding like a patrol that's moving around and the Ranger can see it, your Sniper will open fire and you will deal massive damage to the enemy. Then you have between Deadeye and Lightning Hands. I honestly prefer Lightning Hands. You can get Deadeye if you want, but Lightning Hands is really great because sometimes there might be an enemy sitting close to you and you can deal double damage to it. And if you have 2 snipers, which you should, there's pretty much no way you can be caught in by surprise by, let's say, a Faceless or a Underground Chrysalid or anything like that. So in my opinion, Lightning Hands is really great, especially since you can get specific type of ammos for your snipers, like burning ammo, or you know, that does some environmental damage. So I think Lightning Hands above Deadeye all the time. Then you have to choose between Death from Above and Quick Draw. Both, in my opinion, are the same. Death from Above was nerfed. It used to be, if you can kill an enemy, you get an extra shot with your sniper rifle, but now if you kill an enemy, you get an extra shot with your pistol, while the second one, you can fire your pistol and then you can fire with your pistol again. So the fact that Death from Above allows you to fire with your sniper rifle and then with your pistol, while this allows you to fire with your pistol twice, or fire a pistol and throw a grenade, I would take Death from Above because you don't really want to fire grenades as snipers anyway. Then Killzone. Kill zone is one of the best skills in the game. Whenever you set an ambush, use a kill zone to target all of the enemies in a group. By doing this, once you start the ambush, your sniper is going to fire one shot at each enemy, dealing massive amounts of damage. If you have two snipers with kill zone, you pretty much use kill zone on a group of enemies, then start the ambush, and you'll fire 6 shots at them. It is insane. You will pretty much guarantee to wipe off the first enemy squad that you run across. So then you have to choose between steady hands and aim. I like to take steady hands because you don't really want to hunker down as a sniper. They're really behind your friendly guys. They shouldn't be in danger, so there's no reason to try to hunker down. And then between serial and fanfire, serial is the way to go. You can deal massive amounts of casualties with serial. As I said before, the sniper is your damage dealers. They should stay behind. They are very easy to level up. As such, you should have like at least 2 of them in your squad. Moving forward, we have the Psy operative. Actually, let's talk about the Psy operative later on after we get with the other 2 classes. The Psy operative, in my opinion, is one of the most broken classes in the game. I will talk about why I think that. Let's go to the specialist. The specialist, between medical protocol and combat protocol, always take medical protocol. Medical protocol allows you to heal pretty much anywhere on the map, and you will need those heals. I very rarely said, oh, if only I had like 2 more damage to deal to an enemy. Even if it's guaranteed damage, it's not as good as being able to heal your squad mates. Between revival protocol and haywire protocol, always get haywire. Some of the most damaging enemies in the game are mechanical. You will be more lucky, and you will need haywire much more if you get it. I'm not talking about disabling turrets. I am talking about disabling sectopods. I'm talking about disabling other advent mechs that are in the game. You can't do this with revival. So while revival might get you out of a pinch, haywire is that much better, because if you can disable a mech for 1 turn, that's massive damage done to the mech. Especially if you accidentally pull 2 packs, and we're going to talk about that later. Between field medic and scanning protocol, always get field medic. You already have a scanning grenade that you can get for this, so there's really no need to have scanning protocol. Field medic is really great. Then you have between covering fire and threat assessment. Now, covering fire is really bad. Like, the support shouldn't be in the front line. He should stay somewhere behind your ranger, behind your heavy guys. So threat assessment is that better because you can use it on a friendly sniper or a friendly assault, you know, that got positioned poorly or something like that. So there's not, as you can see, like most of the skills, there is like a clear decision to be made. Like, the game doesn't really allow you to take something else. If you take something else, you will notice you will lose the campaign. I would be really interested to see if someone just decides to take other skills and manages to win at Iron mode. These other skills are pretty much for fun, and you can do them if you play any other type of game than Iron mode. Then between Ever Vigilant and Guardian, I have no idea why anyone would pick Ever Vigilant. This is like a skill that you're really happy if one of your heavy guys get it or one of your assaults get it. But Guardian is definitely the way to go. I have managed to have Overwatch triggering twice or 3 times because of Guardian, so never get Ever Vigilant. Finally, this is a debate between Restoration or Capacitor Discharge. I like to get Capacitor Discharge because it can save your life if you manage to pull more than 1 pack. But Restoration, if you take it, you wouldn't be that wrong. let's see the other classes. The Grenadier. Oh, and by the way, you should have one support. You can have two supports if, let's say, one of your snipers is injured, or one of your other soldiers gets injured and you need to do a mission. Then yeah, you can have like two of them. Other than that, everyone else should be one. So let's look at the abilities of the Grenadier. Between Shredder and Blast Padding, always get Shredder. There are so many enemies that have armor later on in the game. If you don't have Shredder, you will really be upset. Even though early on, like, Blast Padding might seem like a good idea, definitely go for Shredder. Demolition and Suppression both are equally shit. However, the Demolition can miss. Like, you have a chance to actually miss the shot for Demolition. So that's why I go for Suppression. I'm saying that Suppression is shit because in this game, most enemies have abilities, unlike the first XCOM. In the first XCOM, most enemies could just fire at you. You know, very few enemies had abilities like mind control and I don't know, firing poison. You know, there were like a couple of enemies, but most you would fire their guns at you. So suppression was really good. Here, not so much. Most enemies have abilities, mind controlling and doing other crazy shit. So even if you suppress them, that's really not going to help. Between heavy ordnance and holo targeting, I prefer holo targeting because it gives you better aim in order to do the chain shot. And the chain shot is something really sick. You should put as weapon upgrades on the heavy guy to have better aim. So either put the ammunition, which gives him better aim, or give him a scope, because chain shot is insanely good. It does a lot of damage and you will need a lot of damage later on. Volatile mix, you don't really need that extra +2 damage, you know, and that extra title. So hail of bullets is a guaranteed hit. It's really great when you really need to hit something with a lot of armor and you don't have a lot of percentage to hit, so it really fucks up the RNG in your favor. So definitely hail of bullets. Finally, between saturation fire and rapture, I would get rapture because in the end, as I said, a lot of enemies need to take a lot of damage. The purpose of the game, by the way, when playing Iron Man, is to make sure you kill all of the enemies before they have a chance to attack you. And that's the best way to play the game. Make sure you only pull one pack of enemies and then you take them out before they have a chance to retaliate. And I'm going to teach you how to do that, right? There are certain ways where you can do that. The times you are going to lose the mission is mostly when you pull 2 packs of enemies and things get really hard, especially in the late game. Or when you don't automatically like kill the enemies. The thing with killing the enemies is that they don't get to hit you in return, obviously, so you won't spend time in the sick bay with your soldiers, because if you spend time in the sick bay with your soldiers, you might have another mission, so you won't be able to bring your important guys on. And if you go to a mission without your guys that are really important, you will take damage on other soldiers, and this causes a snowball effect, which eventually gets people killed. So again, the purpose is to make sure that you take down every single pack of enemies the moment they appear. And the way to do that, there's 2 things. First of all, you have the most broken class in the game, as I talked about. And the most broken class in the game has an ability, which is by far the most sick, overpowered, and broken shit in this entire game. Now I'm going to let you think, which one do you think it is? Okay. And of course, that's right, the most broken ability is the Stasis Shield. Now what the Stasis Shield does, for some reason it said it can work on allies. However, in my game, and I'm not sure if this is intended or not, it works on enemies. So if you have, like, let's say a gatekeeper and 2 archons, you can simply take down the archons, then do some damage to the gatekeeper, put him in stasis, and then you get another round where you can deal sick amount of damage to it. You know, they always have stasis off of cooldown before engaging another enemy patrol, and you can use it on their most powerful enemy, you know, or if for some reason someone has like a little amount of health left, use stasis on them. God, it's so sick. I just don't understand why you'd use it on an ally, right? I honestly think this is not working as intended. I honestly think this is broken. I mean, it works without even giving you a % chance to miss. So again, you can disable the most powerful enemy on the screen, and then you get like another round to deal damage to it. It is absolutely fucking sick. Also, the whole purpose of having this guy is to begin the round by using Void Rift. So every time you want to start a round, use Void Rift. And when I say you want to start a round, I mean like commence an ambush, right? Put your snipers with the kill zone, and then use the Psy class to do Void Rift. It's going to most likely cause 1 or 2 enemies to panic. It even might allow you to mind control someone. So yeah, all the other skills are for fun. They do damage, they're good. I'm not saying anything like that. But you want this class for these 2 abilities, Stasis Shield and Void Rift. Now another thing which is broken, and how you can manage to survive and make sure you kill all the enemies before they attack you, is having the second most broken item in the game, which is the Mimic Beacon. Now what the Mimic Beacon does, it forces every enemy in the game to attack it. So if they can, they will. And again, like, you will not be attacked. Like sectopods, gatekeepers, all the other bad enemies in the game will attack the Mimic Beacon, making you pretty much invincible for 1 turn, unless they kill the Mimic Beacon, and this happens really seldom, right? Like once in a blue moon. So the Mimic Beacon is basically a tank. It will get the fire from all the enemies, and you will get an extra turn. So when things go bad, just have 1 or 2 guys with a Mimic Beacon, throw it out, and you can survive an additional turn. Or if things go bad, use stasis with your Psy operative on the most powerful enemy, right? So using these skills, as long as you pull 1, maybe 2 packs of enemies, you're guaranteed not to lose guys. This game becomes so easy and so simple by using this tactic. Now let's talk a bit about the enemies, and let's discuss how you can what tactics you can use against them. Let's look at the archive, so we can talk about the enemies as we find them. Now the Advent Officer early on is quite a powerful foe. If you're having problems with him, use a flashbang grenade. Flashbang grenades are really effective. Remember that Advent Officers can one-shot your guys early on if they mark them, so you want the flashbang in order to make absolutely sure that he has a lower chance to hit. The Shield Bearer, he will never attack your guys in the beginning. He will just try to armor up the other people around him. So it's really good in order to ignore him. Like when you target a pack of enemies, just ignore him. Try to take down the Advent Officer first. The Shield Bearer can die last, and the thing is, like, once you kill him, the shielding that he brought up goes down as well, so take that into consideration. The Stan Lancer is one of the most deadly enemies you will face early game. The reason is not that he does a lot of damage, quite the contrary, he does little damage, but he can cause your guys to get unconscious. And when that happens, you pretty much lose a guy, and if it happens on mission where you need to rescue an engineer, you know, one of those missions given to you by the spokesman, you can probably lose the game if you're not careful. They are very vulnerable to flashbang grenades. If you use a flashbang against a stun lancer, he will not use his melee attack. He will start using range attacks for that duration. So use flashbang grenades, and if you don't have any, keep your guys together and put them all on Overwatch. This way you will get a better chance to hit him because your Overwatch will trigger when he is closer to you. The troopers are nothing to talk about. They're really easy. Most of the times you should ignore them and focus on the officer or anything else. Like, they're a low priority. Even if they sometimes hit you, they will not outright kill one of your soldiers, and you can heal them back up. So kill the troopers only if you can't fire at anything important or anything else that's important is dead. The only time you should prioritize killing troopers is when you have sectoids, and we're going to talk about them when we reach them. The only time that troopers give you a really big problem is in the first mission of the game, which ridiculously is one of the most hard missions in the game. This game, I forgot to mention, has a reverse difficulty curve, right? It starts off really hard, and then it goes easier and easier as you unlock and you get more weapons, and then it becomes hard again, and then as you go towards the end game it becomes easy again. So in the first mission the troopers are really difficult. They can kill your guys by flanking. So if one of your guys gets flanked by a trooper, he gets one-shotted, and they can kill your guys if they are marked by an officer. So the way I do the first mission is I get really close to them while I'm in cover, and then you don't put your other 3 guys on Overwatch. You attack with one guy and the other troopers will run for cover, at which point you will want to take your other 3 remaining soldiers and move 1 space next to them in order to get a 100% chance to hit and hit them in the face. After that, you will know that the officer patrol is going to start moving around the statue that you need to place the X4 on. So you can just set your guys on Overwatch, and that will take care of the officer as well. Let's see what other enemies you have. Turrets. Turrets are really easy to deal with. You can try to mind control them with the support class using Haywire. You can disable them, but know that, and you probably know this, if they're on a roof of a building, and most of the times they are, you can throw a grenade and they will fall down and they will get one-shotted. It doesn't matter how much armor they have, doesn't matter anything. If you put a grenade under them, they will go down and it's a one-shot kill. The Andromedon is quite a difficult enemy. He should be a priority to take down, and if you can't take him down, you should either use stasis from the psyop, or you should use the mimic beacon, or you should use the support ability in order to try to stun him. The Andromedon has an attack which is an AoE attack. You should try to spread your guys out. If you don't and you take damage, it will be really hard because now you have like 3 or 4 guys that need immediate healing, and if a mission comes out, then you're pretty much fucked. So you should focus attack on him. Know that after taking him down, the suit becomes back alive and he starts to melee people. At this point, he is a lot easier to handle than in the beginning. So you can also use Haywire after you take him down. So yeah, after you manage to take off all his health and he reactivates, you can use Haywire and try to stun him, or you can use the Psy class in order to use the shield, or I wouldn't use a Mimic Beacon at this point, right? He doesn't do the AoE attack, so he's not that dangerous. The Archon is really dangerous. He can one-shot your guys until you research power armor. So what you can do against them is use Flashbang or Mimic Beacons. Probably at this point you don't have access to the Psy class yet, so yeah, just use Mimic Beacon. There probably aren't that many in a mission. You're probably going to face off against 1 or 2, and at this point you should be able to take down 1 Archon, especially if you have magnetic weapons research. They're a very hard enemy to deal with. Basically, after you research magnetic weapons, the stun lancer stops being the most deadly enemy in the game, and that spot is now replaced by the Archon. Also, he has an attack which he rarely uses, but if he uses it, you should know about it. He is going to throw some lances or some missiles in the air, and the next turn they're going to arrive on the ground, and these are symbolized by some red spots under your soldiers. So what you want to do is just move your soldiers away from the red spots and fire at him. Killing him won't stop this from happening, so just move your soldiers away from the fire, so to speak. Chrysalids are not as deadly as they used to be. Just heal up the guys that are being attacked by them and you should be okay. The Faceless are one of the most annoying enemies you will deal with early game. Basically, if you have a trooper autopsy done, they will give you a grenade which has scouting abilities, and if you throw them on civilians, it will reveal if they're a Faceless or not. The thing with Faceless is if they trigger on the enemy's turn, they will manage to attack and hit your guys. So know that it can be a thing. It's also really annoying that they can go after snipers. And if your sniper is on a building, their attack causes the roof to collapse. So your sniper is going to take probably 3 damage from the attack and 4 more damage from the fall. So that's a total of 7 damage one-shotting your sniper. Be absolutely mindful when you are doing terror missions, and make sure that your snipers are not on anything that can be destroyed, like watchtowers or anything like that, because you never know when a Faceless can come up. I know I said that snipers are usually in the back and out of danger. However, Faceless can walk like half the map and they can spawn right next to you, so you don't know where the danger is coming from, and your snipers are really vulnerable. So make sure that they're sitting on the ground, and then you should be okay. I mean, a Faceless does like 3 or 4 damage, so it's no big deal. You know, you should be able to take 1 hit from them. Also, don't try to rescue civilians if, like, always assume that a civilian is a Faceless, basically. This is what I want to say. You know, don't try to rescue civilian with 2 areas of movement, so that, you know, you can't do anything if there's a Faceless. Always assume that you're going to run into one of these guys and have a plan in order to take them down. And make sure you research the autopsy as soon as you have 2 of them, because then you can make the mimic beacon, which is the most broken item in the game, as I kept saying. Let's look and see what else we have here. Nothing to say about the Muton. They're really easy to take care of. Make sure that you know they have grenades. So yeah, I guess spread your guys out if you don't think you can kill them in the first turn. And also don't try to do melee attacks on them. They will parry and they will hit back. Also know that their melee attack probably does more damage than their range attack, from what I noticed. So try not to stay too close to them. And one more thing that I forgot to talk about the Faceless is that they have AoE attack as well. So in terror missions, try not to keep your guys together. You might get a Faceless that deals a massive amount of damage to your guys. Moving forward, the Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper is not one of the hardest enemies of the game, but it definitely is one of the most annoying. He has 2 attacks. One attack is a beam that does around 10 to 11 damage, so it really hurts. The second type of attack is an AoE attack, which is going to spawn 3 or 4 zombies. So you want to focus fire on the motherfucker, but by the time you find him, you should have the Psy class to use stun on him. You should have the mimic beacon, and you should also have the support able to use his stun ability if that's available. Make absolutely sure that you take care of his escort, because he might be escorted by 2 Archons or 2 Mutons or 2 Sectoids, so you should take them out and then do damage to him and then put him in stasis and finish him off in the next turn. The only time you're going to have problems with these fuckers is when you accidentally pull another pack of aliens, and when that happens, just use a mimic beacon, try to take care of the little guys. Honestly, these guys aren't as dangerous as you might seem, so I don't consider them a threat. They're very annoying, and make sure you use either acid grenades, fire grenades, or you attack with a heavy guy in order to take care of their armor, because they do have a lot of armor and it's very annoying. So let's see what else we have. The sectoids. The sectoids are one of the most how should I say, difficult enemies in the game, or at least so do the forums consider them. I consider them to be one of the most easiest enemies in the game. Here's the thing, they can mind control, and this is why a lot of people are upset. In order to end their mind control, there's 2 things you can do. Number 1, kill the sectoid, and the mind control gets ended. Number 2, throw a flashbang. If you throw a flashbang at a sectoid, and I'm really upset that the game doesn't explain this to you, if he has a zombie summon, the zombie will disappear. If he has a mind control, the mind control will break. So yeah, don't throw flashbangs at sectoids. But you just said you should. No, you shouldn't. If you throw a flashbang at a sectoid, he will now start using his main weapon, which is a plasma pistol. The plasma pistol has the ability to one-shot your guys. So be really sure there's absolutely nothing else you can do besides throwing a flashbang at a sectoid. The only time you should do this, if he somehow mind controlled your sniper or somehow mind control your heavy guy, and the heavy guy can also one-shot one of your guys. And then is when you want to throw up a flashbang at a sectoid. Under no circumstances throw a flashbang at the sectoid. You know, unless something that I just said happened. The thing is, even with the flashbang, he will occasionally one-shot your guys, and it's so annoying when it happens. You know, like I had a sniper in full cover, and he was even away from the fucking thing. So I used the flashbang on a sectoid, and he managed to one-shot my sniper, who was on elevated terrain behind full cover, and with an aid from a support. Like, these things can happen and you're playing Iron Man. So yeah, just God, that is the most annoying thing. Other than that, ignore the sectoids. I always do, especially once you have access to 5 guys or 6 guys from your squad. So I just ignore them. First of all, take care of the little guys, the advent troopers, and then go for the sectoid. One more thing, I'm not sure if you kill the sectoid, you get experience from killing the zombie as well. So what I like to do is, when I see a zombie, is if I can if I know for sure I can kill the sectoid in that turn, I like to kill the zombie with the sniper to get that extra amount of XP, or you know, to kill the zombie with the assault, same reason. And now we are at the most difficult enemy in the game. This enemy is able to make sure that you lose the campaign if you pull him into other packs. In order to deal with the sectopod, you need an immense amount of firepower. The sectopod is also more than capable to one-shot your guys, so you need to be aware of that. What you want to do is, first of all, try to hack it. If you can stun it with a hack, then you're lucky. Don't try to hack a sectopod unless you have the gremlin upgraded to Mark 3 and you know for sure that there is a high chance you can actually succeed the hack. If you don't succeed the hack, you are going to give the sectopod more armor and more defense and more damage. You do not want to do that, right? So the thing with it, try to do as much damage as you can to it, and then put him in stasis, and then the second turn try to do as much damage as you can to it. And if you still haven't finished it, which is a high probability that you can unload everything you have on it for 2 turns and it's still up, then you can try and throw a mimic beacon, and hopefully you can finish him off the third turn. What I like to do is I like to equip all of my guys with blue screen bullets at this point, so they do more damage to mechanical units because of this unit. Like this unit forces me to equip all of my guys with shit that damages mech, because it's insane. I like to have EMP grenades, I like to have EMP bullets, everything possible just to take this motherfucker down. If you don't think this motherfucker is able to break the game, you are not playing Iron Mode and you are not playing on the impossible difficulty. You just do not understand the terror that this shit can bring to a level. Let's see what else. That's pretty much it, right? Now let's talk a bit about how you should do your research. The first thing you want to research is weapons, so magnetic weapons as soon as possible. As I said, you need this in order to be able to kill the enemies the first turn. Doesn't matter if you have armor, if you don't have the weapons to deal with it, you will take damage, you will get to sick bay, you will not be able to perform well in the next mission. So yeah, get armor. Oh, there's like one more enemy I haven't spoke about. The mech. What's it called? I think it's Advent mech. Yeah. Sometimes you can actually control them for fun, and if you play like I do, and like everyone has bullets that can damage mechanical units, these guys are a joke. You should be like really happy when you see them because you're not seeing something else. There's also the snake. I forgot about him. Oh, I forgot about him because I didn't do the research. Yeah, there's like a few more researchers that I haven't done. There's the snake unit, which you shouldn't use flashbang against it, for the same reason you don't use flashbangs against sectoids, because it will use his main weapon and one-shot your guys. Other than that, it's one of the weakest units in the game, especially if it coils against one of your rangers, because if you do 1 damage to it, it will then uncoil and your ranger can shoot it in the face. So there's that. And then there's the Berserker, another powerful unit. The Berserker usually appears in terror missions, and you should treat it the same like an Archon. Just don't let it get close to you. Put your guys next to each other and on Overwatch, and you should be fine. I think it has the ability to like one-shot your guys, so make sure you use mimic beacons if you think things might go wrong. Now, moving back to research. Magnetic weapons should be the first choice, and after that you have 2 choices. Either get the Psy class or get armor. Either way, you can't go wrong. I would usually go for the Psy class because you get that extra chance to train your Psions faster in order to get the stasis upgrade. But if you can't, going for armor is not a bad idea. Other researchers that you need to do, sometimes even before magnetic weapons, is researching Advent troopers. The reason you want to do this is because you get access to the battle scanner. The battle scanner is insanely good. Every time you're concealed, you can throw it on a building or under a building to see if there are any enemies there. Like, I can't stress how many times I have managed not to lose a game because I had access to the battle scanner. What usually happens is you will try to get up a building while being concealed with a sniper, let's say, when you reach the roof, you notice that there are enemies right next to you and you trigger them, and then you have like really hard problems to deal with them. Having a battle scanner on a sniper is going to probably save your life more times than you think. So use them, especially in the missions with terror missions, because yeah, you can then make sure that you know if a civilian is actually a civilian or a faceless. The blue screen rounds are the ones I spoke about. I like to make sure that everyone has them, because you then do massive damage towards mechanical units. EMP bombs, same. Flashbang grenades, you should always have one in the beginning of the game. After that, it doesn't really matter. I think it's really bad later on. Medkit should be equipped for your support. There's no need to have other people having it. Proximity mine is also really great if you know where the enemies are, so you can scout out with the ranger and then put a proximity mine somewhere behind. Then when you trigger the enemies, they take damage from it. So it's kind of nice, I guess. It's not a must need. It's more for fun. A smoke bomb, if you want to have one, equip it on your sniper, because your sniper is sitting in the back, and you can throw this one actually further than you can throw other things. So the normal grenades. And yeah, they add that extra cover. You know, if you fucked it up, if you pull like 2 packs, or you know, it's like there's nothing you can do, and there's like one sectopod or something else, it's good to have a smoke bomb in handy. Mimic beacon, most broken item in the game, and mine shield, most useless item in the game. And I know some people are like, but it's good because you can like, no, shut the fuck up. You know, like there are so many better choices than the mine shield. Weapons, make sure you upgrade the gremlin and you upgrade the psyamp. Make sure you have sectoid corpses and you don't fuck it up like I did, because I ran out of them. So yeah, not important, honestly. Like I don't hold the Psy class in order to do damage. I know it does insane amount of damage, but my tactics don't revolve around it mind controlling and doing damage. It revolves around doing stasis. It revolves around using the Inspire ability, which allows your ranger to get an extra 2 shots. And it revolves around doing that void thing, which can mind control when we engage an enemy squad. Finally, the armor. There's like once you research what's it called? Once you reach search power armor, not even that, before that. Once you research your first armor, you will have one additional spot to either go for some bullets or go for one of these vests. What I like to do is research the vest, which automatically heals your troops when taking damage, and put them on the heavy guys, while the snipers and the support should have access to bullets like the blue screen rounds. So I think I spoke about everything. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about. Maybe I should talk a bit about how you should start constructing shit. Start with the guerrilla tactics school, obviously. You want, especially in the beginning of the game, to train your rookies to squaddy level. Make sure you have like 2 grenadiers, 2 snipers, 2 of each. Because you never know when one gets wounded and you will need a replacement. You never want to take a rookie on a mission. You always want to take a squaddy. And the moment you have money, make sure you get squad size 1, then wet work, then squad size 2. And finally, you should get stay with me. Everything else is like, yeah, whatever, get it when you want. But these should be priorities. Right, after you do the guerrilla tactics school, you have a choice between Proving Ground and Advanced Warfare Center. If you manage to get a lot of Valyrium cores during your gameplay, then by all means go for the Proving Ground. the faster you get it, the faster you get access to other types of grenades and other types of rounds. So when you get it, I prefer researching 1 or 2 grenades and then immediately starting pumping out different rounds. Advanced Warfare Center is great for 2 reasons, and these are the reasons you want to get it early on. First of all, you can put an engineer inside, and you can heal your guys twice as fast. And this is like really important, especially early on. And you also get occasionally a random ability from a different class to one of your classes. And the sick thing is, it doesn't have to be the same ability level. So what I'm talking about is, let's go to my guys and I can show you. You can have like a sharpshooter, right? Getting his level 2 upgrade. And let's say you have to choose between Deadeye and Lightning Hands. However, you also get a bonus ability. Let's say you get the bonus ability from a Ranger. And you can get like, even though he is level 2, you can get the last ability from the last level of the Ranger tree, which is Double Fire. So congratulations, now you have the Avatar of Death, which is the sniper who can have double fire. It is fucking insane. So this is one of the reasons why you would want to have Advanced Warfare Center up early. However, this thing doesn't trigger as often as I would like. So I'm not really sure if it's that worth it to risk delaying the Proving Ground for the Advanced Warfare Center. Especially if you already have Illyrium cores. So if you don't have Illyrium cores, then yeah, sure, get Advanced Warfare Center. Otherwise, the Proving Ground. Yeah, and after that you can start building whatever the fuck you like. Probably, you know, you should start making room in order to have the Scilab and the Resistance comps. Now, there are some things which I haven't spoke about. When should you do the quests for the game? You can do the quests for the game whenever you want. Especially the Advent Black sites and all of that, you know, they scale with the rest of your guys. So if you say, oh, I want to get magnetic weapons and power armor before I do the black side, then you're a moron, because if you do that, you're going to face enemies like the Andromeda and mutons and whatnot. So the enemies are really scaled according to your level when it comes to assaulting these sites. The only exception is when you use the Skulljack on an Advent officer. You will get the Codex. The Codex is one of the most annoying enemies in the game because of his ability to cause your guys to have their weapons malfunction, and it's a huge AoE like the whole map. And also, once you attack the Codex, it will split. It will make a clone of itself, and now you're going to fight against 2 Codexes. And they also have a weapon which is capable of one-shotting your guys. So the thing is, once you start doing this quest and you take 1 Codex, they will start spawning in the game. So until you do this, until you actually use the Skulljack on an officer, you will not face Codexes. But once you do, you will face them. So what you really want to achieve is wait until you have power armor and plasma weapons, and then start the thing with the Codex, right? I think that's all. Well, there are like a few minor things. Which types of armor like you would want to have. You want to get obviously the spider armor on your snipers, which is really great because it allows you to move up buildings. It gives you like really great mobility without wasting turns. And you want the armor which gives you access to heavy weapons on your engineer, or your specialist and your heavy guys and whatnot, right? Also, the Wraith armor is really insanely good for your assault class. The Wraith armor is an armor which allows you to go through walls. that's about it. That's pretty much all I can say about the game. I'm sorry if I spoke too much, if I was boring, but yeah, like these are like all of the tips I can give you. And I don't think you can lose the game unless like you're not doing what I'm telling you. Like this is like the third campaign I'm playing in a row, and I've been winning them. So it, I honestly think this is because of the broken things like the Mimic Beacon and the Psi class, which uh, makes the game incredibly easy. Until you get them, yeah, you can lose the game. Like until you reach the part where you get the Psi up, and you get to the I think the second terror mission to be able to start making the Mimic Beacon. Oh, one more thing. You can build a laboratory or you can build a workshop. Never do them. There's absolutely no reason. The thing is, you don't really want to research faster. Even if you would have magnetic weapons researched on day one, you will not be able to build them because you don't have alien alloys. It's not like the other XCOM where you had everything and you just needed the research. So researching faster meant you would have better equipped weapons. No. The thing is, you need to wait until you have the raids in order to get access to alien weapons. And you should finish your research in weapon technology by the time you have the first raid mission. And after that, you will need the second raid mission in order to either build armor or Psi ops. So, yeah, there's absolutely no point in this game to have more scientists and research faster, because you're cock-blocked by the lack of resources. And engineers are really great. They're really good, but you can find them by doing the missions in the game or by finding them, with scanning locations and whatnot. So there's like really no need to create a workshop, because creating a workshop takes place takes the room of one of these squares, and you need all of them squares. Like, trust me, you need all of the resistance comms, you need all of the space to make the Psi lab, you need the space to make the shadow chamber. If you would make a workshop, you're basically wasting time that you can spend on building something else. Let me know what you think. This is my first in-depth guide. The reason I made this is because I haven't found a comprehensive guide for this game. I had to play 100 campaigns until I figured out what clicks and I figured out what works. If you don't play XCOM, I don't know why you listened up till now. Like, I probably bored you to death. But if you do, I hope this helps. Let me know if you find these tactics to be okay, and if you already knew what I was saying or you've learned something new.